Now on CoastTV News.
A new look at old homes. Delaware lawmakers looking to provide relief following property reassessments across the state.
Fenwick Island meeting just like this one, the subject of a tax.
Storms are slowly approaching us from the west. More of what I'm tracking coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Historic property reassessment across Delaware. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with reassessment bills in Dover.
A lot of states across the country reassess property value annually or every few years, but Delaware has long been an outlier. Homes in Sussex County, for instance, were just reassessed for the first time in 50 years. Now, state lawmakers are considering bills to help ease the financial burden on homeowners. And as Coast TV's reporter Emma Aiken shows us, locals say they may need it.
The year was 1974. The Way We Were topped the charts. Blazing Saddles was the #1 movie in America, and it was also the last time Delaware conducted a property reassessment. That is, until 2024. But those reassessments have come with serious sticker shock for some homeowners.
It was a big jump for a lot of us.
Part of the problem with that big new bill, according to Christina Vent, is that the reassessment came back wrong.
There was a basement listed. There's not a basement. It's a small crawl space.
Like Vent, longtime Milton homeowner Wayne Corman says he's anxious to see how much his taxes are going to go up.
We'll find out here soon in August, but we all know it's going to be higher. And a lot of people retired can't afford it. But a lot of people coming down from out of state are retired because they can't afford where they were at.
Tax panic is leading lawmakers to hold a special session Tuesday to consider multiple bills aimed at reforming Delaware's property assessment process and protecting homeowners from what they call unaffordable tax increases. The majority of those tax dollars go to the public school system. Vent, who works for the Cape and Lopin School District, says that money is important.
I can tell you the schools do need the money, in particular in this area with the growth. As soon as the school's built, we're overcrowded, and so I support that the funds for the schools.
As Sussex County continues to grow and the state grapples with rising costs, lawmakers are trying to determine the best way to handle a bill come due after half a century of kicking the can down the road. In Sussex County, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
The special session comes as some homeowners, especially in Newcastle County, saw their property values jump by over 500%. That's led to huge tax bills. In response, the House filed 3 emergency bills, HB 240, 241, and 242. That's to provide short-term relief, including refunds, payment plans, and letting school districts adjust tax rates. The special session is set for tomorrow, Tuesday, August 12th, with the lawmakers promising more permanent solutions in 2026.
Pornographic images have been popping up multiple times during Fenwick Island meetings, and not on purpose. If you're not familiar with the term Zoom bombing, that's when people join live-streamed public meetings, usually government ones, and then someone breaks in and puts up inappropriate words or videos. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live in Fenwick Island, and Kevin, the town says it has safeguards in place to stop this, but people are still getting through.
Maddie, right behind me is where Fenwick Island do their in-person meetings, and they also broadcast these Zoom meetings live on their Zoom link. But some of those Zooms have been taken over by someone, and they have been showing pornographic videos. Now, according to the town, it already deleted the 3 meetings where someone played pornographic videos for everyone to see. The most recent one happened on Tuesday during this Dark Sky event, leading to the Zoom link being cut off, and the town sending out a notice. Fenwick Island police are working with an IT team to try and find the culprits.
We are actively working on getting the IP addresses of the senders of these Zoom bombs, and once we acquire the IP addresses, we'll be launching a full investigation and tracing those IP addresses back to the computers where they're coming from.
Now, according to the Fenwick Island mayor, if these Zoom bombings keep occurring, they may change platforms entirely. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Fenwick Island, Coast TV News.
Ocean City's main wastewater treatment plant is nearing the end of its life. And tomorrow, Ocean City Council will decide whether to move forward with bids for a major upgrade. According to OC documents, it was built in the late 60s. Parts of the 64th Street facility are in desperate need of replacement. The proposal includes the demolition of the original structure for new construction to boost capacity, water quality, and public health.
Delaware State Police have arrested 30-year-old John Glastein of Bridgeville after a menacing incident that happened last week. Troopers say Glastein crashed his tractor into a DelDOT vehicle. Then police say he returned to the accident with a running chainsaw, damaged property, and assaulted the DelDOT worker, though no one was hurt.
After an extended 7-day tournament, the White Marlin Open has wrapped up, crowning this year's top anglers. The bill fisher was the biggest winner with a 72-pound white marlin, but the tournament also had a 929-pound blue marlin, and even Michael Jordan made an appearance. To see pictures of all of the prize-winning fish, you can head to our website, CoastTV.com.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's the highlight of this year's White Marlin Open?
This was a fun poll. Let's take a look at the results so far. Wow, 62% say a local boat winning. Again, the bill fisher was from Ocean City, though 15% say Michael Jordan being at the scales was pretty darn cool. 23% say it was that 929.5-pound fish that was the biggest highlight.
Nobody seems to care that it lasted 7 days, but that's okay. You can go vote if you want to. Go to CoastTV.com or use your Coast TV mobile app.
Well, in weather news, heavy downpours and thunderstorms and torrential rain hit parts of the Midwest over the weekend. First responders were battling flash flooding, leading to extensive water rescues across the entire region.
Just in that time, we had approximately 65 water rescue assignments for people such as the people that you're witnessing behind us here, who just are smarter than everybody else.
A rain gauge in the area showed 14.5 inches of rain in a 24-hour period, shaping up to a new record for that region. And we're not out of the clear yet, because those same storms are going to start leaning in our direction. Here's a look at where we are right now. It hasn't reached us yet, but they're slowly crawling in our direction. We're at Lewis right now with clear skies and 84 degrees. Winds are pushing primarily out of the south right now at about 7 miles per hour. We'll drop down to 74 under mostly clear skies by 8 o'clock. Now, here's where the temperatures lie at this top point. We're at 76 in Rehoboth, 78 in Lewis and Bethany Beach, 77 Ocean City, 83 Georgetown, and then 87 degrees right now in Redden. The winds are primarily coming off of the water, mainly out of the southeast, ranging between about, let's say, 10 to 15 mile per hour gusts for right now. And future gusts are going to continue to push primarily out of the south. Now, Tuesday and Wednesday rain. This is winds. Tuesday and Wednesday's wind out of the south. You see how it picks up to 22 miles per hour out of the south for Wednesday? This is a setup for the cranking up to the thermometer outside, going all the way up back to summertime, okay? We've been enjoying some cool fall and spring stuff, but now that vacation from the heat and humidity is about over. We're going to stay with the high pressure, stay in control of our weather for right now, but we have this high pressure ridge that's going to break down and open up the door for more scattered showers and more heat and humidity. So for early this week, we're warm, seasonable, but then we get really hot on Wednesday going into Thursday, and that's also when the rain is likely to creep into the picture. We'll have more on what I'm tracking coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. Dozens of people were injured and 2 people were unaccounted for following an explosion at U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works. A spokesperson for Allegheny County said a rescue operation was underway for people who are trapped at the factory about 35 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. The health department is also on site to monitor the air quality. The spokesperson said in a statement, a cause for the explosion is unclear.
President Trump federalizing the Washington, D.C. Police Department in a move he says he's making to fight crime. But Metro Police and the Justice Department says violent crime in D.C. has fallen to a 30-year low. As Monica Alba shows us, at the same time, the president is trying to find a way to do something he promised to do on his first day in office: end the war in Ukraine.
You remember I said, I offered 10,000 once.
President Trump declaring a public safety emergency in the nation's capital. Today announcing he's sending National Guard troops to the streets of Washington, D.C., claiming crime is out of control.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back.
He also federalized the Metropolitan Police Department temporarily after a former DOJ employee was attacked, according to a police report. The president said he would notify Congress about the decision, but gave no specifics for how long he would overtake the police department, though he would need joint approval from Congress if it lasts more than 30 days.
You'll be so happy. because you're being safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police or you're going to see FBI agents.
But statistics from the Metro Police Department and the Justice Department contradict the president. An MPD report shows violent crime is down 26% from last year. Homicides are down 12%. Critics point out that the president didn't immediately call in the National Guard when rioters attacked the Capitol on January 6, 2021.
Who city? Our city.
Outside the White House, D.C. residents made their disapproval known loud and clear. The president saying he may implement the D.C. plan in other cities. The mayor of Baltimore firing back, calling today's announcement a distraction, and writing Trump should be focused on, quote, the roller coaster of the economy thanks to the president's policies. As the president seeks to fight crime in Washington, the White House is also preparing for his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin Friday, standing firm that Ukraine and Russia may need to swap territory to come to a peace agreement.
Russia's occupied a big portion of Ukraine. They've occupied some very prime territory. We're going to try and get some of that territory back for Ukraine.
Though Ukrainian President Zelensky insists he will not cede his country's land.
President Trump says President Zelensky was not a part of the planning for this meeting. And today, the German chancellor invited world leaders, including President Trump, to a virtual meeting before Friday's summit to discuss the peace negotiations and pressing Russia to end the war. Monica Alba, NBC News, Washington.
Ford is making a multi-billion-dollar move into the future of electric vehicles. We'll show you how a new assembly line and battery could charge up the company's EV plans.
And although not tonight, but rain is indeed on the way, I'll show you what I'm tracking coming up.
But first, as kids head back to school, it's the perfect time to teach them real-world money skills. We'll show you the best lessons for smart spending habits up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
As kids return to school and spend more time away from adults, financial literacy experts say now is a great moment to teach children important lessons about money and life skills.
Michael Yoshida shows us learning and developing good spending habits can be an invaluable lesson for all ages.
57% of parents regret not talking more about money with their kids. That according to a survey from Empower.
Besides the fact that a lot of parents don't really give their kids these life skills to learn about money and protecting their information, the schools aren't doing a very good job either.
As a result, it can be helpful to show and explain monthly bills and expenses to children and make sure they understand
the difference between wants and needs. I mean, we all want a lot of things, and so we need to plan for needs, but people need to save for their wants.
For teens, other lessons include budgeting and saving, whether it's money from an allowance, first job, or other income. Understand buy now, pay later, particularly fees and interest, and how checking and savings accounts work, as well as checks, debit, and credit cards. Also keep in mind,
if you're 18, you're playing for keeps, okay? So people need to be really careful about anything they sign, anything they agree to.
When moving out on their own or heading off to college, make sure kids are aware of and have a grasp on taxes and filing returns. Importance of keeping receipts and records, whether that's physical paper or digital copies, and debt, especially how compound interest works.
It's so important to pay your credit cards in full to avoid interest every month. This is a big mistake that a lot of college students fall into. There's been some progress, but still, we see a lot of people in their late teens, early 20s getting overextended with debt.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking okay for Tuesday, but Wednesday and Thursday, those showers are going to start creeping a little bit closer to us, and we're going to have to deal with some possible thunderstorms. Well, it looks like the days of summer are returning this week, specifically with the heat, humidity, and the chances of afternoon thunderstorms rearing its ugly little rainy head as well. Our gutter helmet camera, ocean view, 76 degrees, relatively mild right now. Enjoy today and tomorrow because we're going to start creeping back up into the 90s with the heat index into the triple digits once again. 72 and clear by the 9 o'clock hour. Here's where the temperatures are right now. We're at 78 degrees currently. In Lewis, it's 81 in Milton, 82 in Millsboro, 81 also in Gumboro, as well as 81 degrees right now, Del Mar. Dew point temperatures, 68, of course, in Del Mar and Georgetown, 69 in Millsboro, 67 Bethany Beach and Rehoboth Beach. The winds are coming out of the southeast right now, gusts off the water at about 15 miles per hour, but that's going to pick up more so in the next couple of days, and that's also going to set the stage for a much more humid feel in the afternoon hours. For right now, we're still looking relatively clear, benefiting from the presence of high pressure dominating in our neck of the woods. And we have messier weather to our south, but we have some more in the way of scattered showers. It's going to begin to shift our way from the west. Part of that storm system that we had the previous newscast news story about, part of that. Now, as far as our tropical outlook is concerned, here's the deal. This is Africa over here, and I'm just using this as a courtesy for right now. Tropical storm Aaron is going to continue to track and will eventually graduate to a Category 3 hurricane. By Saturday afternoon, it's going to start entering a little closer to us. This is the East Coast right here. And just so that you'll have an understanding as to how far away it is, even by then, by Saturday, we're still looking at it staying about 1,128 miles from the outside influence of that Category 3. And the early models are indicating it's going to move parallel to the coast and move out of the way. It's really early, but right now, I'm not pushing the panic button because it's way too early and things can change way too much. For tomorrow, a bit foggy to start off in the morning time for tomorrow, but along the coast in the afternoon, we'll have winds pushing out of the south at about 4 to 5 miles per hour. Scattered showers, not going to really move into the picture until we get to, let's say, Wednesday. That's when it starts to change up for us a little bit more so. The muggy meter starting to go on the upside. There we go. It's a very humid to miserable Wednesday going into Thursday particularly. So look for Wednesday and Thursday for the humidity to rise and tropical storm influence coming into play as well. Wednesday, we see scattered showers across the region. Thursday, we see scattered showers across the region. So, in taking a look at our 3-day beach forecast, Tuesday, Wednesday, we see the clouds building up. Thursday, they come into fruition in Chincoteague and Assateague as isolated thunderstorms. Now, as far as Ocean City is concerned, we'll see those thunderstorms really start to blossom early Thursday and throughout the day Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday for Fenwick Island. A little bit different between those two locations. And then finally, fog forest on Rehoboth for Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see afternoon scattered showers for Wednesday and flaring up on Thursday. Lewis, the same situation, not quite as foggy in Lewis, but we're expecting the fog to kick in for us for Rehoboth. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Moisture just building up over the next 3 days in a row. That's the main thing you need to remember. Then it's going to come out as in the form of either fog for Tuesday or scattered showers and muggy conditions on Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, Paul, thank you. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 8 p.m., you can catch Into the Trenches, A New Voyage. And then at 10:30, it's the final score.
And coming up, a big milestone. SpaceX launched its 100th mission of the year today. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5.
Elon Musk's SpaceX launched its 100th mission of the year today. The Falcon 9 rocket, carrying 24 of Amazon's internet satellites, lifted off from a Space Force station in Florida just after 8:30 a.m. The rocket's first stage came back to Earth close to 9 minutes later, and the rest of it within the hour.
According to new research, if you want to live longer, just walk faster. After 16 years, those who walked fast for at least 15 minutes daily had nearly 20% fewer premature deaths. Now, how fast is fast? The UK's National Health Service, and this is a good way to remember it, says you should be able to talk but not sing while walking.
Ford says it's making a $5 billion investment into a new assembly line and battery production. This is all for EVs, and $2 billion is earmarked for 2,200 jobs. Ford is unveiling a new and smaller, lighter battery design. Let's live look outside into Lewis one more time and check on your forecast right after this. Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, Delaware's first openly gay elected official, John Brady, passes away. More on his legacy tonight on Coast TV News at 6.
Taking a look at Dover right now, courtesy of our Bay Health camera, we're holding at 81 degrees right now with the dew point temperature of 68. More moisture is going to be building over the next few days in a row in the form of fog a little bit for some folks on Tuesday, and then humid and hot conditions with a chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday. But as far as tonight is concerned, we will remain clear, 76, mostly clear skies by the 8 o'clock hour. Now, our umbrella giveaway winner is Stephen Jasek of Millville. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. You can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruxted, Mandalis, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Next few days, listen, we're going to be hovering in the upper 80s as we set up for afternoon thunderstorms, particularly for Wednesday and Thursday. Don't be surprised if a little bit of fog for tomorrow morning, but then Wednesday and Thursday, we watch out for the rain.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.